Hey guys, it's Shannon, and it's time for another Coffee at Luke's. Here we go. Mm. Okay, guys, so in my cup today, I'm actually drinking the, the oil with the snickerpoodles that I got in my last Stars Hollow monthly box. I think it was August box. I'm going to link that video so you guys can see and maybe check out, but they have, oh, you guys, it's really good coffee. It's, they partner with Boca Java, and they do like a monthly coffee box that I think I'm gonna have to sign up for that one because this one's really good. But oil with the snickerpoodles, highly recommend it. So good. Okay, guys, let's get into the video. So good. Okay, so in this video, you guys, we are talking episode 6, season 1, Rory's birthdays. You guys, such a good episode. Really good episode. So let's just dive right in. You guys know how I always do this. I give you the Netflix synopsis, and then I give you the synopsis from the, you guys know, the Bible here, our official, I always get the name wrong. What is it? The Gilmore Girls companion. That's what it is. So I always use this as my other reference, and I usually, you guys, I sit down. I have to explain this to you. It's so funny because my husband was laughing at me today. I sit down and I got the closed captions on Netflix, and I'm sitting here with my little Luke's Diner menu planner, which is another thing I got from my Stars Hollow monthly boxes. You guys, if you haven't checked them out, you need to. Stars Hollow monthly. I will link all the info. But I sit here and I literally, you guys, I take notes. I have like pages and pages of notes per episode. And I just go through and I pause and I write and I pause. And he's like, what are you doing? I got all these books. I'm sitting in a chair. I have this binder that I'm writing on. I have the Gilmore Girls companion. I have the cookbook. So I have to see if there's a recipe for you guys. It's a production just to do this, okay? But this is what I do. I love it. I look forward to it. I try to do 1 or 2 a week just so I'm caught up. So then when I go to film, I have it all ready. But you guys, it's so much fun. Okay, let's get into this one. Like I said, episode 6, Rory's birthday parties. This is a Netflix synopsis for you guys. It says, Rory clashes with Emily when Emily's plans for a formal birthday party for her. Meanwhile, Lorelai organizes a casual get-together celebration. You guys, I get where they're coming from. They don't want to give away too much. They don't want to give away too little. But I just feel like sometimes the Netflix synopsis is, this is what happens. And that's it. You know, it is what it is. But, okay, guys, this first aired November 9th in 2000. It was written by ASP, Amy Sherman Palladino. Directed by Sarah Pia Anderson. So, that's who directed this video. Now I'm going to go through the Gilmore Girls companion guide and read you that one for you. It says, Rory's turning 17 on Friday. That's a debate. Okay, before I even go on, we're going to stop. 17. When she because she doesn't graduate high school till season 3. Okay? The end of season 3 is when she graduates. So that means, and she starts late, like a month late at Chilton. So this would be her sophomore year. And then we have the junior year, and then we have the senior year. Okay. She should only be 16, 17, and then 18. Big, huge debate. I think she's only 16, and this is her sweet 16. But it does say in here 17. But we never really hear what year she's supposed to be born, except for when they do get up to her 21st birthday. So let me see. Does that work out? 17 is in 1, 18, 19, 20, 21 is 5. Nope, see, that doesn't even work out. Is it season 5 or season 6? Season 6. See, it don't work out. She's only 16. I'm glad I talked this through with you guys. Thank you. But anyway, I digress. Here we go. Rory's turning 17 on Friday, and she's getting 2 birthdays this year. One at her grandparents' house and one at home. While Lorelai finally feels like she's making some headway reaching her mother, Emily's turned Rory's birthday party into another social function, inviting all of her Chilton students that make Rory's life miserable. Though Emily's ritzy soiree is a disaster, the more humble affair in Stars Hollow gives everyone some food for thought. See, that to me just kind of sums it up in a nice little ball, and I don't know. I feel like Netflix just misses a mark with their synopsis. But, okay. Let's start. Camera pans out and pans in, and here we go. It's a Friday night dinner. They're sitting at the table, and the first thing, I love this. Emily starts out with, go around the house and pick out the things you want us to leave you in your will. And what? Who does this? I do think it's a good idea in theory, but it is a little weird when you hear people say, yeah, go, after I'm dead, what do you want me to leave you? Go tell me now. Then it's like, my daughter does this all the time. Like, if I get a new piece of jewelry or something like that, she goes, oh, you're leaving me that in the will, right? I'm like, okay, stop. You're like pushing me to the grave so you can get my stuff. Chill out, chill out. So I can definitely understand where that is. We have a maid count. We see the maid come in. She doesn't have a name or anything, but we're definitely up to 7 maids now. So the, tally's growing. We're only on episode 6 and we're at 7 maids. And then you find out that Emily has requested the maid to make pudding. Homemade chocolate pudding. I love this. So, which leads us to the first recipe, which is the pudding. Lovely in this cute little bowl, just the way it was presented to them. It said, this isn't Miss Kim's multi-grain soy pudding. No way. This is crafted after the pudding Emily served Lorelai and Rory in crystal bowls. It's a pudding lover's pudding. Even though it's made from scratch, this recipe is not much more difficult than mixing a box mix. It's possibly more foolproof. After a few bites of this stuff, you'll understand why Lorelai worships pudding. And I like this recipe in the book because it gives you can either make lemon pudding, chocolate pudding, or tapioca pudding. I made chocolate pudding because that's what Rory and Lorelai love, and especially in this episode, is the chocolate pudding. So you guys know, I'll insert my pictures of how I made it and how it turned out and thoughts. It was actually pretty good. I mean, but it's pudding. I don't know. Pudding is pudding to me, but it tasted good. It's pudding. And then after the credits, you see them walking around, still putting Post-its on there. And I just love that. They're like, do we want this? I'm like, I don't know. I don't even know what it is. So I just thought that was funny. And then when Emily comes in, or when Rory says, or excuse me, and then Lorelai wants to talk to Emily, and Emily's like, oh, should I sit down? She goes, yeah, but go ahead, or not there. I want to keep that nice. I got to post it on it. That was hilarious. That's one of my favorite lines in this episode. Don't sit there because I want to keep that nice. We've got to post it on it. I just think that's great. Talks to her, shows, and you got to understand that the pudding and that Emily actually listened to something that Rory likes and Lorelai likes is a way for them to reach out. She's trying to connect. Even if I don't think Emily meant it as a way to connect. I really don't think she thought that much into it. I think that she wanted to just do something for Rory, and she didn't think of how it would come across. I really honestly believe that. I don't think she was trying to almost manipulate them. No, I think she just made it because that's what Rory, maybe she asked Rory what she wanted or something, and Rory heard, or maybe she casually mentioned pudding one time. I don't know, but I really don't think Emily did that on purpose. She will do things later on purpose, but I don't think this one was. I just spit. I'm so sorry. After that, we see that Emily is not giving up next Friday. She's like, nope, you're coming over here. We'll celebrate the birthday. Emily, Lorelai tries to reason with her, but nope. Emily's like, no. Fridays are mine. You're coming over, okay? So then we go and we see the next scene shows Jackson at the inn coming in to talk to Suki. And I love this. He goes, close your eyes and open your mouth. And at first he says that to Laura. She goes, who are you talking to? And he's like, oh, forget. And he has then created a hybrid fruit. He crossed a raspberry and a kumquat. Those little orange kind of things. I'll insert a picture of a kumquat. Called it a rasquat. You guys, Jackson's hilarious. I love Jackson. And he's just so excited by what he has done. And when Michelle walks in and Jackson's little spiel I had to write it down because to me this is just amazing. So we see Michelle come in and Jackson says, you can make fun of me all you want today because today I am a god. Today, Mother Nature has bowed down to me. Like, he did this. He's awesome. What you got to say? Nothing. Go ahead. I love that, guys. Love, love, love. And then Michelle's kind of response is, oh, how nice for her. Just love it. Love it. Lorelai is seen, after this, Lorelai is seen eating an apple. Remember that for future episodes. I just had to make a note because, like I said, I know. But she is seen eating an apple. She doesn't really eat fruits and veg. So just keep that in mind, okay? Emily calls and wants to go shopping with Lorelai for Rory. That is so sweet. I love that she actually reached out to do this. And, oh, you guys, I just noticed I do not have a Gilmore Girls shirt on. My bad. All right, I will rectify this next time. I'm not going to start over, but here you go. Sorry. This coffee, though. Ooh, it's good. Next day, Rory is at school when Tristan shows her the invite to the party that Emily has sent out to all the friends at Chilton, or not her friends, but all the students at Chilton. I wrote down the invitation because I found it very weirdly worded. It says, on the morning of October 8th at 4:03 in the morning, Emily and Richard Gilmore were blessed with a perfect baby granddaughter, Lorelai Lee. Please join us this Friday to celebrate this joyous occasion. 7 o'clock, black tie optional. To me, it sounds like they're saying she was newly born. They don't put the date of which she was born. They don't put the year. They don't put anything. It just says on the morning of October 8th. Okay. Well, I guess, I don't know. To me, I just found it weird that they didn't say that, 17 years ago or 16 years ago, whatever it is, that they didn't mention that. I just thought the wording was very, very weird. I love black tie optional for a birthday party, but then we see Emily and Lorelai going shopping for Rory. I've made a list of all the things that they mentioned. It's some of the weirdest things. So first, we have Emily going up to those ugly formal hats that definitely you see, when you look at photos of like the Queen of England or all that kind of stuff, and those little fancy hats. And, I love Lorelai's like, who are you shopping for? The guitar-shaped purse. I cannot see Rory. I could see Lorelai carrying that, but I cannot see Rory carrying that. But it was cute. The pearls, the cashmere sweater sets. Yet again, you can definitely tell Emily has no idea what Rory would want. The Mont Blanc pen. I would love one of those, but I don't need a $200 pen either. The day planner and the mermaid eraser. I thought that was super cute. The t-shirt with Farrah Fawcett. Hello. The t-shirt with Farrah Fawcett on it. And then she ends up getting her these 3 beautiful little bracelets. A pink, a blue, and a green. Just cute little bracelets. They almost look like little plastic bracelets, but it was very cute. I love it. She goes, can I still get her the pashmina? She's like, no, you can't. We do see that Emily thinks $12 for a gift is not enough. I didn't know gifts could have limits, but in Emily's world, obviously they do. But she did end up getting them party dresses. And I love that Lorelai says that she'll fix them or tries to do something with it. That is something in the whole series. You see that Lorelai is very crafty, very she knows how to sew. She sews all the time. She fixes stuff. So that is something that keeps continuing through the series. Like I said, guys, they are great with continuity on certain aspects, and that's definitely one. Anything that they talk about or anything like that, they do kind of bring it up and around, and I really do like that. Rory does not tell Lorelai about the party invites because she doesn't want to mess up the connection that she's seeing between Lorelai and Emily, especially with the whole pudding thing and how they're kind of coming around and they're having fun without arguing or bickering. So she does not want to break that, and she feels that, obviously, and her feelings are definitely justified because we know that if Emily or if Lorelai would have found out what Emily did, there would have been that bickerness or, trying to manipulate the situation. So, I don't know if I agree with not telling her, but I believe she did it for a good reason. Like I said, she saw this, she saw the connection. She always there's always that longing for a family connection, a family closeness and togetherness. So that's why. Then you see Luke come over and Rory invites him to the birthday party, and how then they talk about her 8th birthday, how the cops shut them down and the clown was arrested. I could only imagine what went on at that birthday party. The birthday party speech. This is probably one of my favorites, where you see Lorelai tiptoe into Rory's room at exactly 4:03, when she was born and just relays this little speech. So I wrote it all down for you. I think it's so nice and so sweet. And so it says, "Happy birthday, little girl." And you hear Rory go, "Hey." She goes, "I can't believe how fast you're growing up." She goes, "Really? It feels slow." "Oh, trust me, it's fast. What do you think of your life so far?" "I think it's pretty good." "Any complaints?" "I'd like that whole humidity thing to go away." "All right, I'll work on that." "So, do I look older?" "Oh, yeah, you walk into Denny's before 5, you got yourself a discount." "Good deal." "So, you know what I think?" "What?" "I think you're a great, cool kid and the best friend a girl can have." Right back at you. "And it's hard to believe that exactly this time, many moons ago, I was lying in exactly the same position." And Rory goes, "Oh boy, here we go. Only I had a huge fat stomach and big fat ankles, and I was screaming like a sailor. On leave, right? And there I was, in labor. And while some have called it the most meaningful experience of your life, to me it was something more akin to doing splits on a crate of dynamite." I wonder if the Waltons ever did this, Rory says. "And I was screaming and swearing and being surrounded as I was by a hundred of prominent doctors. I just assumed there was an actual use for the chips, for the cup of ice chips they gave me. There wasn't. But pelting the nurses sure was fun." She goes, "I love you, Mom." "Shh, we're getting to the part where he sees your head." So there I was lying, and you guys, I love that. It's so cute and just so how it goes from being just this beautiful kind of "I love you, kitty, you're great" to "let me tell you about your birth and how traumatized I was." I love that. I just love it. Oh, my hair's looking a mess. Hello. All right. Next, we see Rory and Lane entering Luke's, and they go right up to the counter to sit, and Luke tells them that they're at the wrong table, and Rory says, "When is there a right table?" And he replies, "Since the coffee cake I baked you and the stupid balloons I blew up are at that table over there." She goes, "You blew up balloons for me?" He goes, "Yup." She goes, "You old softy." He goes, "I count to 3 and they're gone." I love Luke. You guys, Luke, you can tell he loves Rory. And Rory can definitely get that old heart to thaw and melt a little bit. And I just love it. Which brings us to the coffee cake recipe, which is another recipe in the book. It's in the recipe book, or in the cookbook. Let me find it real quick. Here we go. So it says coffee cake. What's nice is, if you guys can see this picture, these are the bracelets, like the bracelets that Emily buys for Rory. And you can even see the balloons in the shot and everything. So, you guys, the pictures in this book, she put a lot of time in these, and I just love them. It says, on the morning of Rory's 16th birthday. This says 16th. See, I think the companion was wrong where it says 17th. I'm just saying. On the morning of Rory's 16th birthday, Luke shows us, for the first time, a glimpse of his softer side. When she and Lane arrive at the diner before school, Luke has a table set up with balloons and this cake, just waiting for the birthday girl to arrive, so he could start her day off in a special way. I love that. If you'd like to show someone your softer side, surprise them with this cake. Just be sure to remember the coffee. So cute, you guys. I just love it. Like I said, the pictures, the time spent on this book is lovely. I will do a whole video talking about this book because I love it so much. I think everybody needs it. Okay. Let's see what else we have. Oh, Dean comes in and he walks up to the counter while Rory's sitting there with Lane at the table eating the cake, and he orders some coffee and they're smiling at each other, you know, "Oh, I'm going to look at it. Oh, he's looking at me. Oh, you know, just doing that whole little thing." And then as he leaves, he mouths to her, and she just blushes and smiles, and you just know she's smitten, and I just love it. Next week, after school's over, we go to Emily getting ready for the party. Emily's obviously yelling at the servers and the maid and everybody getting ready for the party. She tells them, "I want those candlesticks 6 inches apart. Get a ruler." So all the candles always have to be 6 inches apart. And Lorelai even, brings that back, saying, "Oh, Mom, place looks great. What are the candles 6 inches apart?" Obviously, that is, that's just how she was, and that's the strictness that she has always dealt with. So Lorelai has since fixed the party dresses. You see she took off all the tulle and just redid them into something a little bit more them, something more their style. We do see Paris is at the party. Tristan comes in and is his annoying self. You guys know I have no love for Tristan whatsoever. And then Rory blows up at her grandmother. She is so mortified to be at this party with all these people that she doesn't like, and it's just not her. And this is totally taken over by Emily, and this is Emily's type of party where it's not Rory's whatsoever. And then we see Rory up in her room, up in Lorelai's old room with Lorelai, and this is the first time we see the dollhouse. You guys, the dollhouse plays a very big role in this whole series. We see this beautiful Victorian dollhouse that just is gorgeous, and Lorelai, even says that when they gave it to her, the glass was on this big glass dome was on it, so she could look at it, but she wasn't allowed to touch it. And this dollhouse, like I said, later on in the series when it's brought back up, you will see what the connection she has with the dollhouse. Okay, I won't go too far into it, but you can definitely see the connection. This is where Rory finally admits that Emily invited all these people without her and that she hates the party. And at the end, we have Emily going... We have Rory inviting her mother, Emily, or inviting her grandmother to the party. And says, please come, I want you there. And Emily's like, oh, we're busy, no. And that's when you see the mama bear and Lorelai come out and is like, you need to stop. This is for your granddaughter. This has nothing to do with you. And that's the whole thing, is Emily, they're not the same type of people. Rory's not even the same as Lorelai, who's definitely not the same as her mother. They are all individual people, and they need to take each other out and think about what the other wants. And that's pretty much what Lorelai says to her. The next Saturday, or the next day, we see Rory going to the college fair to get yet another Harvard brochure because she wanted to see if there was new pictures in it. Rory's whole life has been planning and doing everything she can to get to Harvard. So this is very important to her. And who does she see at the Harvard table but Paris? You will see that they have this kind of bond because they have so much in common. And you start to see how much they have in common. And why, sometimes when you have so much in common, that's when you don't like, they have so much in common, but they're such competitiveness is what keeps drawing them apart from each other. But you do see them start to soften just a little bit. Especially when Paris finds out that Rory does not like Tristan. I think that was a big kind of cooling off for Paris and starting to see maybe Rory's not that bad. Then we get to Lorelai's party, though. You hear the loud music, you hear smiling, laughter. All these people are having fun. It's totally opposite from the party that was at Emily's and Richard's house. I mean, they couldn't be more polar opposites. I love that. You start to see Rory opening a present from her mother. You will notice there's only one teenager or somebody Rory's age at the party, and that's Lane. Everybody else is these adults. We have, Babette and Maury and Miss Patty and Suki and just all these people. But it's still, it's their this is like a family celebration. This is always what I think of. When I was younger, we'd have cake or ice cream for birthdays or parties. I mean, it was your aunts, it was your uncles, it was your grandparents that came over. It's just this little family celebration, and that's what you see here. It's a family celebration, and obviously that's why they like it so much. It's what they are. It's who they are. You see that Suki makes this beautiful cake with Rory's picture on it. I love when they bring the cake out, and if you look, you see Michelle in the corner. He's got a party hat on, and he's on his phone, and he has the most bored look on his face, and I just love it. And I will be honest, this is the first time I've even noticed him at the party. Now that I'm actually sitting there taking notes, really watching this to pick up everything, I noticed him. I never noticed him before, him being in this episode whatsoever, after the one speech in the kitchen with Jackson. So, and then I love Lorelai's speech. She stands up and is like, everybody's quiet. And at first, she has to crack her joke, which is probably what I would have done. It says 2 priests, a rabbi, and a duck. And they all start laughing. And she goes, no, 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 I want to make a toast. I would like to propose a toast to the one thing in my life that is always good, that's always sweet, and without whom I have no reason to get up in the morning, my pal Rory. I love that. They all cheers and, you know, take a little swig to Rory, and then who comes in but Richard and Emily, and it's silent. Just silent. We do find out that Richard and Emily have never been to Lorelai's house. Never. They've never shown up at their house. Then you see Luke show up with the ice and just he comes to the party, and Lorelai just gives him this huge hug because they were just out of ice, and it was like he knew exactly what they needed, and you just saw this connection between the two of them. And we're not the only one that sees it, because Richard or Emily sees it as well. And you could tell that there's just this little spark there that they're not admitting to each other, and I love that. Rory gives Richard a Cosmo to read. Of all things, she gives him a Cosmo magazine, which I think I'd love to see Richard read that too. I think he'd blush just a little bit. Emily makes her way up to Lorelai's room, where she sees the photo of Lorelai with a broken leg, and that's where she really looks and evaluates stuff and says, I have no idea who my daughter is. I know nothing about her life. I don't know any of her friends. I don't know anything. So after that, we see Richard. He took a quiz in the Cosmo and found out he's an autumn. He should wear autumn colors and that kind of thing. Just cracks me up. But Richard and Emily in the car was probably one of the best scenes. You see Emily tell Richard, I don't know my daughter at all. I know she's not me, and I know nothing about this person whatsoever. And it was really, really nice. And then Suki and Lorelai are cleaning up. She spies Dean with Rory outside their house. He waited till the party was over. He shows up and gives her this little present of this beautiful bracelet he made for her. It's a little medallion. He drilled a hole in it. He put some leather straps, and it's just this beautiful bracelet that she wears pretty much, you know, for the next couple seasons. It plays a big part, the bracelet and stuff. So it is something that will be called upon, but you see that he took the time to make her something special just for her, and it's so sweet. Now I'm going to go through and read you just a few notes I took here from the companion guide here. It says, some notable firsts included in this episode. You see the first time that Luke proposes to Lorelai, well, sort of. The first inkling that Paris likes Tristan and has a great deal in common with Rory, like we talked about. Miss Patty's last name is LaCosta. The first appearance of the bracelet Dean made for Rory, and the first time we hear that Richard and Emily have been to their daughter's house. So let's go back to Luke and Lorelai. This is when Lorelai walks into the diner with the party dresses, and he's like, Rory's not here yet. And she goes, all right, well, you're just going to have to entertain me until she gets here. Okay, Burger Boy, dance. And he goes, will you marry me? She goes, what? He goes, I'm just trying to look for something to shut you up. You guys love them. Their banter back and forth. You can definitely tell their little flirtations here and there are so sweet. I mean, obviously, you know something's going to happen between them two. You just know, because that's just how it goes. We can all see it. They just haven't seen it yet, kind of thing. So guys, that is episode 6. You guys, I really, like I said, I'm actually noticing things that I've never noticed by doing these episodes, and, you know, really kind of going in and diving deep and see what I think of things, and just kind of paying more attention. And that's why it's amazing. I've watched these episodes hundreds of times, probably. I mean, like I said, I'm actually rewatching. Okay, this is funny. I'm on episode 6 with you guys, but I still am rewatching faster, or, you know, I'll sit on my days off and I'll just play episode after episode after episode. And I'm on season 7 of doing it this way, but then I still go back, and when I watch season 6, I'm finding things that I still never seen the first time, or the second time, or the 10th time, or the 20th. It's just amazing that I can still, you know, find new things to talk about with this episode, guys. All right, so here we go. Coffee at Luke's. We're done for this one. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye, guys.